Good morning, dear students. I am back with your English class. Let us continue with chapter 2 of your supplementary reader book, Movements. So, let us continue chapter with paragraph 13. A great treat for Toto during cold winter evenings was the large bowl of warm water given him by grandmother for his bath. He would cunningly test the temperature with his hand, then gradually step into the bath, first one foot, then the other, as he had seen me doing. So, children, as you know, Toto was quite clever. Whenever grandmother would give him a large bowl of warm water for taking bath, so it was a kind of enjoyment for Toto. But he was cunning. Cunning means he was very clever. He was clever enough to first test the temperature of the water, that how hot it was, and then only he would take his bath. So first he would check the temperature with his hand, and then slowly he would step into the process of bathing. So while taking the bath, first he would put one foot, the first foot, into the water, and then only the next foot into the water. So he would try to copy the author. He had seen the author doing like this, first checking the water, first checking the temperature of the water, then only taking bath. So he was quite intelligent to copy the author until he was into the water up to his neck. Once comfortable, he would take the soap in his hands or feet and rub himself all over. So once he got comfortable with the water and he gets comfortable with the temperature of the water, after that he would take some soap in his hands or feet, you can say, and then rub it all over his body. When the water became cold, he would get out and run as quickly as he could to the kitchen fire in order to dry himself. And as soon as the water becomes cold, so what he would do after that? He would fast run to the kitchen so that he could dry himself with the help of kitchen fire. In the kitchen there was kitchen fire, and he was intelligent enough to understand that if he is feeling cold, only the fire can dry him. If anyone laughed at him during this performance, whenever he was doing this act or he was trying to dry himself, if anybody would laugh at Toto, Toto's feelings would be hurt. He would not like it, and he would refuse to go on with his bath. So he would not like it, and next day he would not like to take his bath. One day Toto nearly succeeded in boiling himself alive. So as he used to go to the kitchen fire to dry himself, so one day when he went into the kitchen, near the kitchen fire, to dry himself, he was almost going to burn himself with the boiling water. Paragraph 14. A large kitchen kettle had been left on the fire to boil for tea. In the kitchen, a very big kitchen kettle was kept on the fire so that some water could be boiled for making tea. And Toto, finding himself with nothing better to do, decided to remove the lid. And when Toto saw that kitchen kettle, so somehow it came up to his mind that he should remove the lid from the kettle. So he just removed the lid. Finding the water just warm enough for a bath, he got in with his head sticking out from the open kettle. So, as soon as he saw that it was warm water, the water in the kettle was warm, so immediately he thought that maybe the water is warm so that he could take his bath. So he could not understand that the water was not for the purpose of bathing but for the purpose of making tea. And moreover, the warm water was left on the fire. On the fire it was kept, and it could be dangerous for him. So he just got into the kettle and his head was out, so he could not understand the trouble. This was just fine for a while until the water began to boil. So for some time he was okay because the water was not that much hot. It was just warm water. But soon the water started boiling because the container was kept on the fire. So it started boiling. Toto then raised himself a little. Then he became a little uncomfortable. But finding it cold outside, sat down again. So when it came out, so he felt some coldness and again got inside the kettle. He continued hopping up and down for some time until grandmother arrived and hauled him half boiled out of the kettle. But so for some time he kept on doing this, just trying to come out a little and then get back inside again. So after some time, grandmother came to the kitchen for some work, and he could find Toto doing all this, and then she rescued him. She only saved him by taking out from the kettle. He was almost half boiled. Paragraph 15. If there is a part of the brain especially devoted to mischief, that part was largely developed in Toto. The author says, if mischief has to do something with one particular part of the brain, so that particular part of the brain was highly developed in Toto because he was up to some kind of mischief all the time. He was always tearing things into pieces. He could not see things intact. He would always like to tear things, be it clothes, be it papers, or anything else. Whenever one of my aunts came near him, he made every effort to get hold of her dress and tear a hole in it. So, whenever any aunt of the author came to pay a visit to their house, he would hold her dress and try to tear it until he sees a hole into it. Paragraph 16 describe another incident of Toto's mischievous temperament. One day at lunchtime, a large dish of pulao stood in the center of my dining table. So the author says it was a daytime and we all had to gather for lunch, and in in the center of the dining table a large dish, a large utensil was kept, which was filled with pulao. Pulao, you all know, the rice. This is a dish. This is a recipe of rice which we make usually at our homes, where we use a lot of vegetables mixed with rice, and it is very tasty also. So that pulao was served on the dining table. But as soon as they entered the room, what do they find? They find Toto stuffing himself with rice. Toto was already sitting there and eating rice, eating that pulao. My grandmother screamed. The grandmother started shouting. So, as soon as she shouted, Toto threw a plate at her. Toto threw a plate towards her. One of my aunts rushed forward and received a glass of water in the face, and another aunt had to face a glass of water on the face. When grandfather arrived, Toto picked up the dish of pulao and made his exit through a window. But as soon as the grandfather entered the dining room, now Toto took his dish of pulao. He did not leave pulao there. Rather, he took up that dish of pulao and just went away from the window. We found him in the branches of the jackfruit tree. There was a jackfruit tree. Jackfruit is a vegetable which we call usually in our homes as kathal. So, on that jackfruit tree, he went and sat down there, and still that dish, that utensil was in his hands. He remained there all afternoon, all throughout the afternoon. He kept on sitting there, eating slowly through the rice, determined to finishing every grain. So he kept on sitting there until he could finish every grain from the dish. And then, in order to spite grandmother, now he wanted to tease grandmother because she had screamed at him. He threw the dish down from the tree after there was nothing in the dish, in the plate. So he threw that dish from the tree, which chattered with delight and chattered with delight when it broke into 100 pieces. So when he threw the dish from such a height, so it just broke into so many pieces, and he started making happy sounds of delight, of victory, just to tease grandmother. Paragraph 17. Obviously, Toto was not the sort of pet we could keep for long. So, after observing the behavior of Toto and the mischiefs made by him, it was very much clear to everyone that Toto was not an animal which was very calm or controllable. So it was very difficult for the family to keep Toto as a pet for the long time. Even grandfather realized that. Grandfather in the beginning always tried to uh, encourage Toto, and he was very happy with Toto. But by now he has also realized that what kind of a pet Toto was. We were not well to do and could not afford the frequent loss of dishes, clothes, curtains, and wallpaper. So, author tells here that they were not so rich that every time Toto destroys something or the other, and they could very happily bear the loss. So, grandfather found the Tonga driver and sold Toto back to him for only 3 rupees. So, somehow, grandfather started searching the same Tonga driver from whom he had bought Toto. So, he could find that Tonga driver, and he just sold Toto to the same Tonga driver, and this time only for 3 rupees. But he was still very happy. So the chapter completes here. Thank you.